one more chance. After 24 Web.com Tour events, 99 rounds, 249 days, only 18 holes stand between 25 players and a PGA Tour card. Today is all about the numbers, the dollars, and the cents. Math is logical. Strokes are counted, dollars add up. But this game is felt with the heart. The hands sweat. The mind races. Emotions override reason. By the end of the day, lives will change and dreams will be realized. Who will earn the dollars and keep their cents? The final round of the Web.com Tour Championship. One more chance. Golf Channel, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the Web.com Tour Finals. At TPC Sawgrass in Ponte Vedra Beach, Florida, live final round coverage of the Web.com Tour Championship. 25 events, and we are down to 1 day in Ponte Vedra Beach, Northeast Florida, just south of Jacksonville. TPC Sawgrass, the home of the PGA Tour. At the end of the day today, 50 newly minted members of golf's best tour. Dyes Valley course hosting this Web.com Tour Championship for the third year. It's the sister track to the stadium course here at TPC Sawgrass. Weather conditions are ideal. It's cooled off, a little overcast, breezy. Players dealing with just the nerves, not so much the weather today. Whit Watson, Craig Perks, and Steve Burkowski with Phil Blackmar and Kay Cockrell for this final day of the year on the Web.com Tour schedule. Roberto Castro had himself a day. This was for birdie at the 18th.
This was to shoot 61 and a course record. Left it right on the doorstep. Actually shares the course record over at TPC Sawgrass, where the Players' Championship is contested. I believe he's moving to Ponte Vedra Beach as we speak.
Yeah, why this guy hasn't bought a house here, I don't know. That was a tap in for 62.
Been an amazing run through these finals events.
Billy Hurley III, could this possibly be a putt that gets him back to the PGA Tour?
What an incredible putt there for Billy Hurley. And at that particular time, that he projected at 25th on the finals money list. What a finish.
Derek Fathauer, last year's champion here for birdie at 9.
Needs a huge Sunday, and he is putting quite a performance together. This to go out in 39 and into 4th place at that particular moment, and projected well inside the 25.
At the 11th, Nicholas Lindheim, his second shot at this par 3.
Basically needs a 12th place finish or better. This is an incredible bunker shot. Not a lot of green to work with, and when this went in, he was tied for 6th.
That projected him inside the 25 at the moment at 8 under par. That would be a tie for 10th as of right now. At 12, Thomas Aiken for birdie.
The 150th ranked player in the world, has not made a cut in these finals, but he's finding some form late.
Projected inside the 25 as well. 9 under par, currently tied for 7th. Rob Oppenheim at 15. This is his second shot at the par 4. Watch and listen.
Oh my God! Flew it in the hole. A little unlucky. He's 3 under through 14, and at that time, although he missed this putt, he was tied for 12. What he needs to finish is 13th place or better. The guy that missed on the final regular season event fell out of the top 25. He's got a chance right now, projected in.
He is the man on the number right now. Aiken for birdie a moment ago at 13.
And to get to 10 under. The guy's won 3 times on the European Tour, has had 5 top 10s in Europe this season.
Take you out live to Dyes Valley course. This is Robert Garrigus at the 14th for birdie, and Phil Blackmar with this group today.
Putting up a hill to a flat spot in the back. Long par 3 here today.
Hello, baby.
That's what the doctor ordered right there.
Very nice.
Needs to finish just now tied for 12th. Impressive performance after the late collapse in Columbus last week.
Tim Wilkinson at the 18th to save his par.
And he's finished top 20, but he's played so well in these finals. He's going back to the PGA Tour. Good performance from the Kiwi. Well done. Played brilliantly on Friday, trying to make the cut when he shot 66, and that compelled him to get his tour card back.
We'll check out the Titleist leaderboard. Titleist, the #1 ball in golf. Emiliano Grillo, he has top 10s on 4 different tours this year, has not won. Trying to change that today. Chez Reavie won 2 weeks ago in these Web.com Tour finals. Lucas Glover trying to break a winless drought that goes back to 2011. Kevin Tway at the moment playing his way in. We showed you Castro tying the course record, 62 today. Patton Kizzire and all the players that have 25s next to their name are players who have their cards via the regular season money list. Kizzire led that regular season money list on the Web.com Tour. Back out to the golf course, the par 3 14th. Kay Cockrell with this group.
Derek Fathauer will be second to hit. Henrik Norlander just hit a 6-iron to the front part of the green.
Yeah, what's it? What's the window?
Into, off the left a little bit.
Straight in.
Okay. Good number, good target.
Voice of Derek's identical twin brother, Daryl, on the bag.
Yeah, I talked to him on Wednesday, and we asked Daryl when was the last time he caddied. He couldn't remember, 4 or 5 years ago. Doing a good job this week. 6 under on his round, Kate.
Yeah, he was in between clubs there, had a 6-iron out first, gripping a 5. Looks like a good choice. Yeah, he tore up that front 9, 29 on the front, and he's cooled off a little bit on this back.
And with that, welcome into our final round coverage here at TPC Sawgrass. Whit Watson and Craig Perks, and a lot of pressure. A serious oxygen shortage on the golf course today. Those players that are on the bubble trying to get their PGA Tour cards by getting inside the top 25 on the finals money list. There's nothing else they can think about right now than just don't give anything away.
Well, can you embrace the opportunity? Are you brave enough? Are you strong enough? Can you sort of follow that desire that burns inside to push back the fear and get it done? We'll see. We'll
take a look at that bubble as we speak. These players that are trying to claw their way up into the finals 25. You can see Thomas Aiken is the man on the number as of this moment. But again, it'll change minute to minute, shot by shot and hole by hole.
Oh, there's so much fluctuation going on. It's a birdie here, it's a bogey there. It's amazing. You can't think about it. You just got to go one shot at a time if you're able to do that. But that's easier said than done.
There's another carrot here for that player who wins the most money in these 4 finals events. He is fully exempt on the PGA Tour next year and gets invited back here to the Players in the spring. And there is a 2-man race at the top of our leaderboard for that title.
Well, Emiliano Grillo began the day with a 2-shot lead. If he wins and Chez Reavie finishes tied, 4-way tie for second or worse, then Emiliano Grillo will win the finals money list. And why is that important to your point? Fully exempt. He's not in the reshuffle. He gets to come back here in May for the Players Championship. And Chez Reavie has been playing brilliantly. He's already won in Charlotte, but to me, Emiliano Grillo, this is his time. He's played all over the world in preparation for this day. He has not won in America yet. I think today is Emiliano's day.
We go out to the 15th.
Nicholas Lindheim, long birdie putt upcoming. This to get to 8 under par. Front right hole location. Not as quick as you would expect coming down the hill with all the rain the past couple of months in this area. Now quickly to 16.
Par 5. This is Rob Oppenheim playing his 3rd out of the bunker.
Should release down the hill. Like we said in the highlights, he needs a 13th place finish or better right now, tied for 12th. Pretty amazing. Look at that. That's incredible. That's where he began. And he's 3 under on the day with birdies at 3, 7, 9, and 13. Just one hiccup in the round.
He will have that putt when we come back to get to 8 under par. That would move him inside the top 10, and that, at the moment, would put him on the PGA Tour. You can join the conversation on Twitter. Use the hashtag WebTour. Back at 16, Oppenheim for birdie to get to 8 under.
This is important because 17 is the most difficult hole on the golf course, and 18 can be tough. We'll have the great opportunity after that incredible iron shot at 13 miss. He obviously learned a great deal from the struggles on Friday afternoon in Portland at the final regular season event when he started the week 25th, and maybe learned from those experiences. Certainly put himself in position. 2 holes to realize a dream.
Over to 14, and Derek Fathauer.
Long birdie putt. This for 7th birdie on the day.
Quite a significant ridge here, so come up there and flattens out, Kay.
Slow putt back uphill.
Good effort. Strength of his game is putting.
Over at 15, Thomas Aiken playing his second out of the right-hand rough.
A severe downhill lie, 142 yards to the hole, cut right on the front. You can see how he walked through that ball.
Well, he's South African. Didn't Gary Player used to do that, Phil?
Off that downhill lie, I think you did it, but wide enough club, that's going to be a tough up and down there.
Not a whole location right on the front.
This is Greg Eason over at the 12th for birdie.
Unfortunately, that will help, but still over par on his round today. Take a little closer look at Dyes Valley course at TPC Sawgrass, designed by Pete Dye, Bobby Weed. Jerry Pate was the consultant. Opened in 1987. A little over 6,800 yards, par 70. Maybe lesser known than TPC Sawgrass, a stadium course, but no less challenging. Bermuda grass throughout this facility, and the course record was tied today. That incredible round by Roberto Castro. Tommy Gainey also was 62.
Moment ago, Robert Garrigus, his second at 15.
And the lie was marginal, 134 yards. And he played a very nice shot out of that bunker.
Extremely well done. Just past hole high, about a 15-footer remaining for birdie for Robert. Again, that a moment ago, now live as Thomas Aiken surveying what's in front of him for his third.
Came into this last finals event, had he missed 3 consecutive cuts, and so he needs a very good finish here in order to get his card. 6 or 7 place finish it'll take. Now this chip shot's not easy off of kind of a wet fairway. Not a lot of green to work with.
Phil, he's going with the putter.
I'm surprised. You know, Craig, players tend to either like to pitch the ball high or low. You don't find many that like to do both. And evidently by doing this, he doesn't like to pitch the ball up in the air. It's a lot of fairway to go through.
South Africans are used to putting through coarse grass, obviously predominant down there.
Well, he's coming off a 3-putt bogey at the last, and he's got work left here.
Yeah, that was a pretty good effort. I think he could have hit a really good pitch shot and not got it much more inside that.
So, needing that high a finish, he can ill afford any more mistakes.
Now back on the tee here at 15 with Fathauer.
A lot of players use less than driver off this tee. He's going with the driver as it's playing back into the wind.
Yeah, gripped way down there, so maybe taken a little off.
Well, he hit kind of a pull draw and got away with that one. It was a low drive.
It's going to be just fine. Look, on the upslope, left-hand edge of the rough there to that right hole location.
Now back at 13, Greg Eason getting ready for his second. What a roller coaster week it has been here. Began outside the finals 25, worked his way in, is now currently out of it, but still golf remaining a chance to get to the PGA Tour.
He began the day 12, Burko, and all he needed was a 14th or better, but he's 2 over par on his round today and continuing to struggle. Rookie out here on the Web.com tour this year, 23-year-old from England.
Now back to 15. Robert Garrigus has this for birdie.
A little bit uphill and breaking to the right. See that coming up short the greens this week, quite a bit slower than normal. All the rain has really slowed them down.
Yeah, it had to be a quick adjustment. The greens last week at Scarlet were over 13. These under 10 on the stimp meter because 30+ inches of rain have fallen since August the 1st.
Now the tee at the par for 17th. Oppenheim set to play.
Huge tee shot. Not an accurate driver of the golf ball. He misses the fairway here, have a lengthy second out of the rough.
He has parred this hole the first 3 days. See if he can do it for a fourth. Back to 15, Aiken for par.
Oh, it was a big putt. Back-to-back bogeys would have been horrible for him.
So a great par save at the 15th for the South African. Currently projected 29th, but he has 3 holes remaining to try to secure one of those 25 tour cards going out from the finals money list. Championship Sunday in Ponte Vedra Beach, Florida. We're back after this.
Web.com Tour Championship live coverage on Golf Channel. Final round, last day of the season for the Web.com Tour. The best golf tournament in the world, guys fighting for their lives. Watch the Web Tour Championship on Sunday. You can use the hashtag WebTour and join the conversation with us today.
Now back out to 13. Greg Eason, his third from short of the green.
You got to come up a ridge. Tough to judge coming out of that Bermuda. He's going to release.
Work to do for Eason at 13 to remain 4 under. Now to 17. Big second shot here for Rob Oppenheim.
Be a lengthy one on this 500-yard hole. Don't miss it left. Caddy likes it. Oh, well done.
Really good shot there by Oppenheim. Back to 15. Fathauer second.
From a decent lie in the first cut of rough. Just a gap wedge, 110.
This just a moment ago. Wonderfully done there. Good angle to attack that front right hole location.
To the tee at the par 5 16th, Robert Garrigus.
The 3 pars gets him his PGA Tour. Maybe a bogey. Oh my goodness. He has hooked this left. There's water left.
Yeah, we got the splashdown. Lost his balance, and that was, there's so much room out to the right. Maybe the further you're right, try and leave it out there, then in the back of your mind, you try and say, well, the fairway's to the left. And in the last 9 years, he's been in the top 10 in driving distance. So that club face working open quite a lot there. Short golf swing. Generates a lot of speed on the downswing. Really rotates through, and then maybe just look how far those hips have turned open, and then there was the catch up late. Look where that ball started, maybe right center of the fairway, and it's overhooked, and he knew it immediately. Basically, the shot right there could potentially cost him playing on the PGA Tour next year. He is a past champion, so he will have limited status out there if he doesn't get it through these finals.
Now back at 13, see if Greg Eason can save his par. That's well done. Still a lot of work to do for Eason with 5 holes to go. Now to 15, Fathauer for birdie.
Burko this to go 7 under par on the round.
This to get within 1K.
Oh my goodness.
He hasn't played this back 9 as well as the front. Round 1, he shot 30 on the front 9 and then posted a 39 on the back. Today, 29 on the front. I'm sure he'll do a little better than that 39 today.
But doing what he needs to do, and that is get
Exactly.
inside the finals 25.
You got to feel good if you start the week outside the bubble and come to a tournament where you're the defending champion. You obviously have good vibes.
This is Nicholas Lindheim at the 16th, the par 5.
needs are 11th or 12th place or better. Right now he's tied for 12th, so a birdie here. Maybe a couple of pars, he may get it done.
Brett Stegmeyer, one of the really good stories of these finals, on the tee at the par 3 14th.
Well, he just played so well in Portland just to get into the finals. Top 75 guys from the web.com tour get into these finals. He was 81st starting the week in Portland, had a solo 7th, goes to Fort Wayne, 8th, 5th the next week in Charlotte, and he went from turning in his application for web.com Q School to playing on the PGA Tour next year. Really, I think apart from the guys that have won, Norlander, Reeve, and Loopers, is the best story of these finals. Even par in his round today. Played his college golf at University of Florida alongside Camilo Villegas, Matt Every, Billy Horschel. And he feels like he's seen the success that those guys have had out there, and that gave him a lot of confidence knowing he can compete with those guys.
Now to 17, just off the green, Rob Oppenheim for birdie.
This would be huge.
So 3 good looks at 15, 16, and now 17.
And 18 is dangerous because he likes to draw the ball. There is water left, and if you bail out, there's a bunker to the right. He can, it can change. It changes every second, but I think a par on 18 may be just enough.
Now Eason on the tee at 14.
212 yards to that back hole location. You know, when you're trying to realize a dream, you sort of waited for this moment, and it can sometimes be a little overwhelming.
Go back to 16, Lindheim. Chance for birdie, trying to get to 8 under.
Going to go a little bit to the left. See a lot of guys come up short. These with 30 inches of rain, they weren't able to. They have improved steadily throughout the week, but that was the adjustment that needed to be made on these greens coming from Columbus. It's an opportunity missed though for Nicholas.
The red, white, and blue taking on a very tough international team. You can see it here. The biggest names in golf playing for pride and honor in Korea. Golf Channel live from the President's Cup begins tomorrow at 7 Eastern Time. Robert Garrigus laid up at the 16th. Looks like Thomas Aiken is not.
He's got 258 into the hole. Hole cut 26 yards on the green. Very dangerous hole location, as you've seen, with the water just left. He needs most likely 1 birdie on these last 3 and maybe 2. So taking a chance here with the 3-wood going at this par 5.
It was a confident strike. That ball looked like it started on line with a flag, but he's cut it out there to the right from the downslope. He's got plenty of green to work with. That's under the circumstances, with the pressure, it's difficult, but the actual shot itself is not that tough.
Emiliano Grillo started the day at 13 under. Already has a birdie and a bogey on the card. He is even for the day. Back at the 16th, Robert Garrigus now playing his 4th after finding the water off the tee.
Playing very quickly, just over 100 yards here.
Whole location just 15 feet from the water. Oh!
Beautiful shot.
Man, how good was that? He's fought back well. Memory's 41 on that back 9 yesterday in Columbus.
Now Eason for birdie at 14.
Slow putt there. There's the slope, and all of it's back into him. Can you hit it hard enough? And he did.
To the tee of the 18th, Rob Oppenheim, 3 under today, 7 under for the week.
Huge tee shot, water left. There you go. Start it down the right, turn it. He may need to birdie the last. Just updated the finals, 25. He's currently 26th.
Now Aiken playing his 3rd at the par 5 16th.
Needs a solo 7th or a tie for 6th to get his card. He teed off in this hole. He was tied for 7th. Now he's tied for 5th. That shows the volatility. Plenty green to work with here. Hole cut down in a little bowl. Not a hard shot at all. Good lie. That's very well executed.
Very nicely done. To finish 4-4-4, and Thomas Aiken will be going to the PGA Tour. Would be birdie par par. Solo 7th or better. Currently, as Phil Blackmar said, he is tied for 5th. South African has played at 3 wins on the European Tour. 150 in the world rankings right now.
Now back at the par 3 11th. Difficult one today and all week, measuring 242 yards. This for Kevin Tway to save his par and remain at 9 under. One of those trying to secure a spot in the finals 25. We're going to see this throughout the course of the next couple of hours. A bogey here, a birdie there. People will be moving all over the place.
Quite a par from Robert Garrigus. Found the water, took the drop, up and down from 100 yards for a 5. And he needed that to stay inside the finals 25. Let's take a look at how this has changed just today. This is at 10:19 this morning, where the bubble line is drawn.
You can't focus on everyone. Let's focus on Brian Davis at number 25 for about 2.5 hours. There he is again at 25 an hour later. Then you go basically another hour later. There he is again. And then he jumps up. Didn't play very well today, but made the cut. That we thought that would be what he needed. There he is again, dropping back down. And I believe the last one, well, there's a Billy Hurley with that 50-footer he made on the last hole. He gets in at 25 at just before 2 o'clock Eastern. 30 minutes later, Brian Davis is there, and Billy Hurley is 2 spots out.
You also see Garrigus's name there. That's why that par putt was so big. Right now, it's Rob Oppenheim at the 25th and final spot in finals money, playing his approach to the last hole.
Stand up there and hit the best shot of your life, Rob, to get on tour. Oh, right over the flag, man. His long game has been great today, but that will be a difficult putt. Going to come down a little tier with all the adrenaline and the electricity running through the body right now. 2 putts.
Aiken for birdie at 16.
There you go. That's well done. That gets him into a tie for 4th.
5 under on his round today. Gets back the shot that he lost at 14. 2 strokes off the lead. Where will you be playing next year? You've got 1 round of golf to help figure that out. 50 PGA Tour cards handed out at the end of the day. Back at the 18th here at Dyes Valley course. As of right now, Rob Oppenheim has slipped out of the 25.
Well,
according to our scoring.
That's correct. Since his walk down this 18th hole is now 28th. So you've waited for this moment your whole life, Rob. Can you embrace it? It's a difficult putt coming down the slope. But potentially, if this goes in, we saw Lee Williams make a putt similar to this 2 years ago to get his card. Can he capture the moment? effort. Wow. Goodness. My heart stopped for sure. That was a great effort there from Rob. Did all he could do. Knocked that one in. He's going to shoot 67 and going to sit around and wait. Wow. 6 consecutive years he's played on this tour. Did win for the first time earlier.
Now back at 15, Easton getting ready for his second. Staring it down. Good shot there. Chance for birdie. And Greg will need a few of those on these final 4 holes to have a chance to get inside that finals 25.
Yeah, I would say he's 2 over for the day. I'd say if he can make 3 birdies coming in, might be just enough.
Now ahead to 17. Lindheim playing the long par 4. Just about 500 yards, Greg. And as you've mentioned, so much rain here. Getting a little bit drier, perhaps, throughout the course of the week. But still, as you see, there are areas around this golf course that are subject to being just a little damper than others.
So preferred lies, I believe they may be looking on the fringe. Obviously, he could lift clean and place it, move it within 1 club length, not near the hole, but that's in the rough, and obviously it's a no-go. So they'll probably wait for a ball. I think if any part of the ball is touching. Comes Mike Peterson.
While we wait on that, we'll jump ahead to 18.
Oppenheim for par. And a round of 67 today. And he will just have to wait. Now he needs help.
Yeah, he's right at 31,400. He is going to need some people to stumble behind, in front of him.
At 17, Lindheim trying to determine, is he in one of those closely mown areas?
Closely mown area, that's correct. Through the green, cut to fairway height or less. And obviously it is touching what's Mike Peterson did not give him relief. Well,
was not entitled.
No, that's not relief, but to be able to lift clean and place it.
So Lindheim 2 under par on the day, 7 under for the week. And for that brief moment early on that back 9, he was inside the 25. You'd have to think a 4-3 finish to have any type of chance, or maybe 3-3.
I'm surprised not taking the flag out here. Don't let that flag get in the way of that ball going in. You should have aspirations that you want to chip this in. If you can finish 3-3, you would secure your card.
Never seemed comfortable on that, just as the ball maybe was sitting against that collar.
Back to 16, Fafauer for birdie at the par 5.
Hit a gap wedge right over the flag stick to this point. 15-footer now. Yeah, never got that on the right line.
Yeah, he's fine though. 3rd position, solo 3rd. Basically need to finish 22nd or better. And brilliant round of golf today. 6 under for the day.
Back at 15, Greg Easton getting ready for birdie. Getting a lot of support from those folks on Twitter. A standout at the University of Central Florida, 2-time first-team All-America selection, won 7 times during his collegiate career, including one right across the street in 2014 at Sawgrass Country Club. So we'll see if he can muster up some good vibes from this part of the country. He's played the back 9 to 6 under par this week, and we'll need to try to probably make it about 8 or 9 under when it's all said and done if he's going to have a chance. But that's a start. Big birdie on the 15 for Greg Easton. So projected 43rd right now. Maybe a couple more coming in. Give himself a chance. An absolutely huge putt for Lindheim here. Try to save his par at 17.
Yeah, must make really, and then try and birdie the last. Yep. There you go. Let's embrace in a moment.
Started 54th, projected 35th. A birdie at the last would get him closer, and then like Oppenheim, sit and wait.
It's a miserable feeling, sitting and waiting, I promise you that. You'd rather be inside the ropes, taking care of your own business.
Now the green is open here at 17. Aiken getting ready for his second.
Well, I've got to think that 2 pars earns him a PGA Tour card. He's got 214 yards here, a little breeze at his back. Just into the center of the green, the right play. He has pulled it looks like, and will find the bunker.
Oh, Phil, it's on the downslope on the left-hand side of the bunker. No green to work with. Everything's pitched towards the flag. That is a big miss. Half of Florida out to the right of that flag.
Clipped a branch on the way down and into the bunker. Now Garrett gets set to play.
Just 2 yards closer at 212. Same situation, couple pars, and he's got his card.
Just so impressed. He shot 41 on the back 9 last week in Columbus, and here he is right back in it. I thought that scar might have been too deep and we didn't have enough time for it to heal, but he's a champion and playing like it today.
Kevin Tway playing the short par 4 12th, missing the fairway.
Yeah, ball well above his feet to a hole location that's only 7 on, and everything drops off left of the screen to throw it out to the right. Oh, nicely done, Kevin.
He is 1 under on his round. He had it to 2 at one point.
He needs a 10th place or better. Right now he is tied for 10th, so he'll have to play these remaining 6 holes under par.
To the tee at 17, Henrik Norlander.
Steve, Henrik came over to me on the last hole and said, very impressive what Derek is doing today, shooting the round that he is when he needs to do it. Henrik said, I'm just trying to stay out of his way and leave it open for him.
Well, Henrik was in that position 3 weeks ago in Fort Wayne, closing with 62, so he fully understands what Derek is trying to do right there.
Nice that he's aware of that and staying out of his way.
Well, he did a nice job leading off with a good solid drive down the right-hand side of this fairway. Basically, Derek just needs to avoid a casualty.
Amazing how far he's gripping down on that driver, so looking for a little bit more accuracy.
Craig, his friends call him the Prince of Ponte Vedra after he won here last year, so he's playing in a kingly or a princely manner.
He played well at the Players' Championship this year, top 20. In contention for a little while on Saturday.
And now Tway for birdie at 12.
Oh, there you go. That gets him to tied for 7th after the birdie.
Back to 2 under for the day. Rob Oppenheim had birdie chances at 15, 16, 17. Just scooted one by on 18. Is it going to be enough?
Aiken in his 3rd at the long par 4.
Well, his ball did make it to the bottom of the bunker. A doable shot, but a difficult one. Got to get good altitude. He just flew it too far.
Green running away a little bit from there, and you take a slow-mo look at the swing and impact for Aiken out of this bunker. There's always going to be a bit of a challenge to try to get it close. So now live, Aiken, see if he can save his par. What about that?
So wonderful up and down there.
What a save by Thomas Aiken at the 17th. Projected 22nd. A par at the last should be enough. And just before that, Robert Garrigus had this for birdie. With a solid 4 for Garrigus. So great par at 16. Routine here at 17. He is projected 21st in the finals 25 heading to the last.
Nick Lindheim on the tee at the par 4 18th. He is at 7 under, currently tied for 13th. Joined by David Brown, who is the chairman, CEO, and president of Web.com. We talked about the pressure on Thursday and Friday. You've been out at the golf course. What's it like today? Even more so, I would imagine.
Totally different than on TV. I would tell you, you could cut the tension out there with a knife, and it's either exhilarating when you see a birdie or heartbreaking when you see someone miss a 1.5 footer to lose their card. So, however, I will tell you the players are having fun. I met them all when they teed off. They're pretty loose until you get to that last few holes. And I'd say the tension's building here, and it's going to build for the rest of this afternoon.
Yeah, it's got to feel very personal for you because you are directly involved in that card ceremony. You're seeing the guys when they get them, and you're seeing them coming off 18 when they don't.
Well, there are a few of them that I gave them their cards a year or two ago, and I'm getting to see them again.
Right.
And you really want to not see them again. You want them to make their dream, and you want them to really have success. So seeing the the agony of defeat when they don't get there, it's real impersonal.
Now we understand you and 3 players are making a road trip to New York. Can you tell us about that?
It's really the highlight of my year is taking the winner of the final, the 4 finals, the winner of this tournament, and the regular season. Take them to New York. Get them on the big board of the NASDAQ, ringing the closing bell, and giving them some real exposure. They'll also have a full-scale media day. We'll have a dinner. It'll be an exciting time for them, and it really prepares them for what their life's going to be like on the PGA Tour.
We're seeing video of last year's trip to the NASDAQ. Thanks for the hospitality again, and I know it's hard to enjoy, but enjoy the day here on Sunday.
You got it, Whit. Thanks a lot. See ya.
David Brown from Web.com joining us here in the booth at TPC Sawgrass. Our special thanks to everyone involved here at the golf course and at the tournament. Matt Wright, to the superintendent, the head golf professional, and their staffs. Great work getting this golf course ready for this finals event with 30 inches of rain falling since August 1st. Back out to 18 for Lindheim in his second. Will have that to get to 8 under par. That would be a tie for 11th.
Now back at 17, Fathauer in his second.
Awkward angle from this left-hand rough. Decent lie. Or he hit that how he wanted to. He thought it was enough to carry with the wind helping.
Yeah, just needed a couple more yards, so he'll end up in that green side bunker.
Thomas Egan makes it to the tee at the 18th.
Needing just a par. It's as though he's going with a hybrid. It looks here, water all down the left-hand side, a little breeze from the right.
And maybe even one of those long irons or muscle back irons. Like a solid strike, Phil.
It was right down the center of the fairway.
You know, you don't get to be 150th in the world in that, knowing how to handle pressure, and he's done a marvelous job today.
Right, the guy in the red finishing at the windows.
Yep. Now back at 17, Fathauer's third.
Same bunker that Aiken just hit out of. He's close to the front of the bunker. The problem is you're landing it on a downslope on the green.
Yeah, that even running out just a little bit further than what Thomas Aiken did moments ago.
Greg Eason at the 16th.
All right, so you got to take this on, coming off the birdie at 15. Danger lurking 15 feet left of this flag. Let's say 2 more birdies Currently tied for 22nd. He needs a 14th place or better. And an excellent shot there. Runs the back right of the green, coming up and over. A pretty significant rise, but beautiful play. That's an intimidating second there at 16.
Now back to the 18th. Nick Lindheim.
Well, he needs it. He absolutely needs this putt. Currently tied for 13th, 12th pace or better. Good to see the folks from down under checking this out. Got a lot of Australians. Rian Gibson looks like he's going to make it. Rodney Pampling is going back to the tour. And there it is with the birdie. And swing left late. Give it a good effort. Pat yourself on the back for giving yourself a chance. The ability to push back the fear, play fearless golf, sort of have that quiet mind and focused. And these guys are really doing a good job in a strenuous situation.
Now back at 17. See if Derek Fathauer can save his par.
This is definitely the longest par putt he's had on this back nine. Uphill, left to right breaking putt. This putt is quite slow. Oh, it looked like a good stroke. It hit a little bump, slowed it down, moved it offline.
Still fine. It's still fine, Kay. Inside the top 20, all he need right now. I think it's tied for 5th or 6th, though. First bogey of the day as well. We'll drop to 5 under.
But when you're in this moment, Greg,
well,
you just don't want to give one back coming in because you don't know.
You don't want to trip, and then you go to 18, and then you sort of, your mind starts racing, and you go, you know what number you need. You know what position you need to be in. You've done all the calculations. You can even see his brother in the back there having trouble breathing.
Now to 13, Kevin Tway's third.
I like that choice. You know, that collection area back there is pretty flat, although it was back in the grain, and that's why he elected to putt it.
So well done there by Kevin.
He needs a 10th place or better, currently tied for 7th.
So you just try to keep checking the boxes.
Checking it off.
Now Lindheim for his par at the 18th.
Yeah, you want to make sure you finish off the good work that you've done today. You might be resigned to the fact that you may come up one short, but yeah, there you go. It's 68 today for Nicholas. And right now, I would say maybe only a shot out, might be 2 by the end of the proceedings.
Back in the fairway, Thomas Aiken is ready.
Well, he's already hit the most difficult shot here at the 18th. He's got 172 yards. Not a breath of wind here on the 18th at the moment. Where the hole is cut today, the water doesn't come into play. Plenty of green to work with. He's going to hit an 8-iron here. It's just it's a driving range 8-iron is all that's required right here, except for the pressure.
Hole location, this location. Launched it up in there. Looks like it's working from left to right. Exactly what he had to do. Phil, center of the green, hole high. Brilliant golf shot. Take a little closer look at the 32-year-old South African's downswing. Really in a good position. Watch how square this face is. Then he rotates the body, and that face will not shut down at all. See how he holds it there through the impact. That allows it to even put a little side spin on it and get it working from left to right.
Staying here for Robert Garrigus.
Just 4 yards closer, same shot.
Par here will certainly secure his card.
Kind of stood up on that one a little bit, and he's going to have to a little bit of work.
Oh, no. Well below the level of the green, pitching up. And so many nerves flowing through the system, he may even end up putting that. He has a tendency, you know, lose his balance a little bit and come up and out of it. But as Phil Blackmar said, you can see his head starting to rotate like David Duval and Arnica Sorenstam. But then the shoulders, look how far those hips are open. The body's way open. Sort of sticks the club in the ground a little bit.
Back over to 16, Eason. This for eagle.
Up the rise there onto a flat part, and now down and back to the right. Get in there. Well, birdie's at 12, 15, 16. He isn't shied away from the moment.
He will have that left for birdie. A wry smile for the Englishman. A moment ago at the 18th, Robert Garrigus playing his third.
Just immediately went with the putter, putting into the grain.
Smart choice. Oh, he could have chunked that chip very easy. I think Philly can still make a bogey and finish inside the finals 25. So took all the doubt out of play.
Now live with Thomas Aiken and his birdie putt.
Of course, you never know, and he probably doesn't know, but 2 putts should be good enough.
Currently tied for 5th. He'd like to leave no doubt. Oh, it's an uncomfortable distance in this particular environment. Last round of the Web.com Tour Finals, the only pathway to the direct pathway to the PGA Tour, and make that, Aiken will get to the PGA Tour.
Garrigus has a lot more work left than he wanted.
He's been playing very quickly these last 4 or 5 holes. Pretty straight putt.
Wow. He needed a 22nd place finish or better. You can see the emotion for a guy that spent 10 years on the PGA Tour, currently tied for 14th, and he will play the PGA Tour next year. Well done. What a round of golf after the collapse last week on Sunday in Columbus. He shot 41 on that back 9 when he had a 2-shot lead standing on the 10th tee. Well done.
Don't know if he knows exactly what he just did, but it seems like he has a pretty good idea.
Oh my, oh my.
He's currently tied for 5th, so he is in as well. Thomas Aiken, 7th or better.
That just barely caught that left edge, Craig.
It sure did, from 1.5 feet. Good plan, though. 65 for Thomas Aiken, and just watch the emotion. Watch the emotion from the 37-year-old. Knows how important that putt is. Good on you. For the privilege to play the PGA Tour, the greatest tour in the world of golf, and he knows how important it is. Champion out there. What a performance.
Wow. Back out in the fairway now for Henrik Norlander.
Talked to Henrik a few days ago when he was playing a practice round out here, and he told me a big difference with him is just getting a much more structured way to practice. He works very hard at home, exceedingly hard, so that when he comes out to a tournament, it almost feels like a vacation. He knows he's done all his prep work. Purposeful practice.
He began this week 2nd in the finals 25 money list with the victory in Fort Wayne. We shot that 62 the final day. He was a rookie on Tour K in 2013. I think he's better prepared for success this time.
He certainly is. His all-around game is better prepared, and certainly his mental strength and outlook.
Key component that a lot of players overlook this day and age. Think it is all physical, which is not the case.
Similar situation for Fathauer here that the previous two players had. He's dead center in the middle of the fairway, short iron in hand, 162 to the hole.
Yeah, no issue here. He's currently tied for 5th, needs to finish inside the top 20. Get it on the green, 2-putt. That one maybe looks a little out
Flared
to the
that
right.
way, right? Yeah, he did all his hard work on the front 9, didn't he?
Yeah, 29 on that front 9, and okay, you talked about it. Shot 30 on that front 9 in the first round. The defending champion shot 14 under par here last year in completely different conditions when it was firm and fast.
Now back on the tee at 17. Greg Eason set to go.
Burka coming off the birdies at 15 and 16. He maybe needs 2 more.
Popular spot down that right-hand side.
The tee aims over there. The mastery of Pete Dye.
You'd think after 4 days they'd know.
He's a devilish little man, that guy.
Robert Garrigus getting it done with a big par putt on the 18th. He is heading back to the PGA Tour. The question is, who will join him? We'll find out over the course of the next 2 hours.
It's one of the most amazing things we build, and it doesn't even fly. We build it in classrooms and exhibit halls, mentoring tomorrow's innovators. We build it raising roofs, preserving habitats, and serving America's veterans.
A look at the 17th green. That back left hole location is what Greg Eason is facing. Birdied this hole in the opening round. Pars on Friday and Saturday, coming off back-to-back birdies. And Craig, as you alluded to, definitely needs 1 more, possibly 2 more to secure a PGA Tour card.
Yeah, I would feel comfortable with 2 more. He needs 14th or better, currently tied for 18th. But this is a tough shot because the whole location's over that bunker. It's in this area back here. So you can't aim at that, and with the ball below your feet, everything's going to peel out to the right. So, and you're a little unsure how it's going to come out of this Bermuda rough. Plus, the adrenaline's just pumping right now. A little bit of a jumper there, up against the temporary immovable obstruction. He will get relief.
So through the green at 17 for Greg Eason. So we jump ahead to 18.
Fathauer to save his par.
Pitched it well long. This is a good 25-footer back.
Well, okay, he finished with bogey, but
Not ideal.
No, but he put himself in a great position with that 29 on the front. And as I've said a couple of times already, just needed a top 20, and he's done that.
Let's join Phil Blackmar.
Thank you very much, Whit. I'm down here with a very relieved Robert Garrigus. Robert, last week you had a great chance, and he let it slip through your fingers there on the last 9. You hit your tee shot in the water on 16 today, and I thought, oh my goodness, what was running through your mind?
Just make par. I didn't want to think ahead at all. And last week I kept thinking ahead, and that's what hurt me. So that absolutely helped me last week. What happened? So it's very stressful. I was explaining to Thomas Aiken, and I'm like, it's like the first hole of the Masters for 4 days. Every shot, every hole, it's just nerve-wracking. So I'm glad I got through it. It was a lot of fun playing. We actually had a pretty good group today. We 7 under as a group, so couldn't ask for anything better.
So you compare that stress to winning when you won on the PGA Tour. How would you compare that?
Oh, it's nothing like it. I mean, when you're up in the lead and you're firing on all cylinders, and there's nothing to worry about. That's nothing compared to this. This is, what can happen if you play bad. You don't have a job next year, one that pays well, anyways. So, it was really, really nice to get off to a pretty good start. Made some good putts, handled the pressure well today. Made one bad swing today, but I made par, composed myself, and got it in.
Your reaction on the 18th, was it one of jubilation or more of relief?
Both. I was happy that I got through and glad that I don't have to stress for another 2 weeks or whenever I get to play again. So it's nice going to get to go home and see the family, and we'll have some fun and then get back at it.
Well, congratulations. I tell you what, it looked really stressful out there. Way to come through.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
Whip, back to you.
Phil, thanks. Yeah, it's nice to see both sides of it.
Well, great questions there from Phil Blackmar, but you know, the jubilation, relief, but the comment of it's like the first tee at the Masters. I played there 3 years. That's an intense situation, but he said for all 72 holes, I don't know how you deal with that physically.
But he also said the experience of what happened just a week ago in Columbus, that I got too far ahead of myself. When I was on morning drive this morning, they said, what type of player do you like? I said, I'll put my chips on the veteran, people that have been in some type of a similar position before, and Garrigus was able to get it done.
You can join the conversation. Use the hashtag WebTour. Reality TV at its best. Big time pressure and drama to get their PGA Tour card. Good luck, boys. That from Kerry. Use the hashtag and join the conversation on Twitter. Miles south of Jacksonville, you'll find Ponte Vedra Beach, Florida. Known for recreation and beaches, Ponte Vedra thrives on tourism. A population of over 27,000. This town relies heavily on local merchants to make industry succeed. Residents have access to everything they need because these small businesses are there to help, just like Web.com is there to help small businesses in places like Ponte Vedra Beach succeed online every day. 15.
Where Kevin Tway getting ready to play his second.
Pretty accessible hole location here, Burko, just in the front right, just with short iron. Green light special right here. And he'd be disappointed with that one.
Luke Guthrie over at the 14th. A little long at the par 3.
Yeah, has not played well through these finals. 3 straight missed cuts. Oh, currently tied for 10th. He needs to finish probably 6th or better. A couple more birdies he might need. Guy that came out here while he was still graduating from the University of Illinois and won twice in a 10 event period. Second on that money list back then.
Played well with the John Deere Classic too, at a sponsor's exemption,
right.
top 10 finish. So let's go back over to 17. We saw Greg Eason's second shot through the green, and obviously was going to get relief from the camera tower behind the green. So now I guess the good news is, if the lie is good, which we're seeing there, it's not. There is a lot of green to work with.
So what you have to do here is play this like a bunker shot. You open up, you open the face up, and you try and explode it. Because if you can't pick it out of there, because you're going to get too much grass between the club face and the ball and it'll come out dead. Do you have trust? Can you pull this off and just know how it's going to come out? It's tough to do that. Potentially needs 2 more birdies in that jump left on him.
Really good play from there.
Yeah, may have to eagle the last hole, par 4, but good play there. So open the face, hold it open, and try. You've got to really hold hard with that left arm so the face doesn't close down. And actually caught that off the toe. See the face, how wide open it is. That's an excellent technique there. But you can see how much it released, and it's tough to judge coming out of that Bermuda rough.
Now back at 15, Kevin Tway for birdie from just off the green.
Into the green, these Bermuda fringes can be inconsistent, can jump a little bit.
Had it tracking, just not enough pace.
Yeah, ordinarily I think even if you take the flag, I'd like to pitch over those fringes, take out any indecision. But to each their own.
Currently projected inside the finals 25.
Which players will lock up their 2015-2016 PGA Tour cards today? Log on to pgatour.com/webcom/stats, and you can find out where your favorite player stands. As we head back to 13.
Where Sam Saunders has this for birdie. We can let you know Greg Easton did save par at 17.
This would be for 3 birdies in 4 holes.
Count it. How about that?
Oh, man, he's playing with a lot of confidence. Had that 4th place finish in Fort Wayne. And he's going to go back to the PGA Tour for a 2nd consecutive year.
Rian Gibson tied for 2nd right now at 12 or at 11 under rather. Now make it 12.
Yeah, the rookie Australian came into these this week on the finals 25 with enough money, so you could sort of freewheel it, come here and try and win a golf tournament.
Saunders, Gibson, and Ches Reavie all at 12 under par. Grillo 13 under, even par today. Thomas Aiken, the leader in the clubhouse after a round of 65. Here's the updated bubble. Brian Davis has been up and down that list all afternoon long. Right now he is back in at 25.
It was amazing. We did the timeline. We came on at 11 o'clock. You know, we were monitoring at 11 o'clock. Brian Davis was there for about 2.5 straight hours. Then he went up, then he came down, and his money projection right now is at 32,600, and I think he is, at the end of the day, unless something peculiar happens, he's the last man in these finals, 25.
Let's join Kay Cockrell.
Thank you, Whit, alongside Derek Fathauer, who was on the outside looking in when this week started. How satisfying is it for you to get it done this week and go back to the PGA Tour?
Very satisfying, but kind of hasn't sunk in yet. It was a hard fight, these playoffs. Good start to the playoffs, but then 2 missed cuts, and really had to dig deep and bring my best game this week, and I guess I got it done, but not the way I wanted to do it.
Well, you didn't end very well with 2 bogeys, but you got it done on the front 9 with a 29 going out. And then was it a case of just hanging on, or did you shift your focus trying to maybe win the tournament? What was going on mentally on the back 9?
It's a little bit of everything. I kind of couldn't figure out if I should play to try to win the tournament or to just hang on, and kind of got stuck in between there, and that might have led to those 2 bogeys coming in, but I wish I would have stayed a little more aggressive and maybe give it a run. But at the end of the day, I did what I wanted to do, and I'm pleased.
I guess your friends have more reason to keep calling you the Prince of Ponte Vedra. Congratulations again.
All right, thank you.
Now shares the course record at Dyes Valley and the stadium course. Reavie. Oh, no. No.
Oh, that's wicked. Right now he's playing for that top #1 on the finals money list. He's still projected right there. He's got to finish. If he finishes solo 2nd or better, he's good to go.
Was actually thinking of the other Prince of Ponte Vedra,
Yes,
Castro.
Yeah, Castro.
There's a lot of princes around here. A lot of guys who love these golf courses. Emiliano Grillo loves it right now. He's got a 1-shot lead. There's Castro, and there's that 62, and that was the round earlier today that shared the course record. At the 16th, Kevin Tway currently in the money.
And 3 par is probably good enough here.
He's got the distance to get home in 2. Can he be accurate and find the fairway? 5th on 2.
Headed left.
Oh,
Headed left.
No water over there. Oh, my goodness. Well, we saw Garrigus there. The mentality is make par. That's the thought process.
That's right. Garrigus did the exact same thing and made his 5, so that's going to be Tway's challenge. At 12, Saunders, 1 back.
212 yards to it.
What are you doing, Sam?
Back hole locations, obviously missed it left.
Piss off.
Got some green to work with, but has nestled down.
Thought he was going to go the full name on himself. Samuel Palmer Sanders. Easton on the tee at 18.
Well, would say he needs an eagle. Birdie might not be enough. Currently tied for 17th. He needs a solo 14th or better. Good beginning.
Last May, the excitement of the NCAA Golf Championships played out in dramatic fashion. This November, the best men's and women's college teams battle at East Lake at the inaugural East Lake Cup. That's Monday and Tuesday, November 2nd and 3rd on Golf Channel. Golf course that hosts the Tour Championship, hosting some of the best players in college golf.
Oh, just too fun. Well, it's 85. Yeah.
We're back out to 16, Kazire and Tway.
85. Very good. Like an idiot. So,
This tour this is the 26th year that this tour has been played, and right now Pat Kazire is tied for 10th. If he holds that position, he's going to have the second best as it relates to most money won in a season in the history of this tour. As we go back and look at Kevin Tway, trying to figure out where he's going back to, Phil.
Well, he got some really good advice from his caddy. He was looking to drop the ball on the side of the hill in the deep rough, but he is entitled to go back and keep the point where the ball crossed the hazard, keep that directly between him and the hole, go back as far as he wants. That gets him back to the fairway, a much easier layup. We saw Robert Garrigus do the same thing.
So we'll take a second look to see where it crossed.
Yeah, it doesn't matter really where it crossed. He's just keeping that point right there, and you just keep it in line with the flag.
Right,
you remember the flag is quite a way left, and you can go back as far as you want.
You know, yard right of the rake. The end would be, maybe that right just behind you there. Okay. Over here? Yeah. Not where your feet are. So.
Remember, Patton was in a controversial situation in Salt Lake when he won for the first time about a drop on the, I think it was the 12th hole, 12th or 13th hole. But no issues whatsoever here. And that was smart. Phil, get it back to an uphill lie, and you're certainly going to have to lay up from there, wouldn't you think?
No doubt, Craig.
We'll come back and check Tway's progress in a moment. First over to 18, and Greg Eason.
Well, you put yourself in a position, Greg, to get a PGA Tour card if you can knock it in. Think of Robert Gamez. Have visualized that ball just going in the hole. Green's receptive. 3 wood off the tee. This is probably a 7-iron. It's pulled well left of the target. And you come to a point now, as you can see, he's projected quite a way outside the top 25. Been working hard all year for this chance, and you realize you're not going to cross the line.
Kevin Tway playing his third now.
And this is certainly not an easy layup. The fairway, very narrow, deep rough to the right, where the hole is cut over on the left edge. You really want this in the fairway to have a chance to wedge it in there and make par. Water all down the left-hand side.
Trying to get it to a favorite number. He's done a good job with down the right-hand side. Phil, he did miss the green on the last hole with a wedge. Hopefully that's the comfortable number.
Now at 17, second shot here for Rian Gibson. Trails by just a single shot, 6 under here in the final round. Not the best angle to come from over on that left side, but he sort of just skirted it by the bunker, checked up a little bit
little unlucky. Yeah.
Let's go back to 14.
Saunders playing his second from off the green to here, now trying to save par at 14.
And remain 2 back. Remember, he missed it well left.
He was talking to himself the second the ball left the club face on the tee.
His mentality that he's easily inside the finals 25 is to win a golf tournament. He lost in a playoff in Puerto Rico this year. He wants to know what it's like to win a professional golf tournament.
Saunders giving one back. He is now solo fourth at 11 under par. Emiliano Grillo still at 13 under. At the 18th, Eason for birdie.
Coming down the hill. And just make it. And you never know what can happen. He needed a 14th place or better, currently tied for 17th, so good effort, but I believe he will fall short.
Now at 17, Gibson here, 6 under par for the day. This to get a share of the lead.
He's a talented kid, you know, as a rookie. He's got a lot of distance, good putter.
All right, so Garrigus did it. Now Kevin Tway needs to do it. Make par at this par 5 after putting the tee shot in the water.
I still think it can fly closer to 8 short. Because that's going to fly past that downslope a little bit. Exactly. Like it? All right.
That was an aggressive layup. He's got it all the way down inside of 70 yards. 66 yards to the hole by my count. And he's got, as he was talking about, a little downslope there. I think he's going to try to fly it over that downslope into the bottom of the swell, Craig, it sounded like.
Yeah, from that distance, you may be bringing it lower because you landed on the top of the slope and everything will feed down to the hole. If you can fly it too far, that water brings the water into play.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah,
it was aggressive, yeah.
It was too aggressive. I think he just, hindsight's 20/20, obviously, but I think he's a little too close to the green with that layup.
Robert Garrigus repeating to our Angela Heyman that every hole this week was like the first hole of the Masters. You can use the hashtag WebTour on Twitter.
Yeah, he's currently projected 21st in the finals, 25. Shooting at 2 under par today, 68.
Now Eason for his par at the 18th.
He was a 23-year-old rookie. It was a good season, and he'll be very well prepared to come back here next year. And I think he's got the game that can graduate off this tour. Got meticulous preparation, certainly got the physical skills.
And back to 16 now. Tway trying to save his par.
Well, he spoke in his interview yesterday about being nervous at night, but maybe not being so nervous on the course once you got out here and got into the rhythm and flow of things. And you have to wonder right now at this point, I got to think I'd be a little nervous, Craig.
Oh, no, absolutely you are. And you talk about working on some techniques to either slow down your breathing or, you know, having these mental rehearsals or, you know, the positive self-talk. He said he doesn't do a lot of that. He tries to get away from golf when he is not at the golf course, and sometimes it's not physical anymore, is it, at this point, is it, Phil? It's trying to control all of those other things.
I think it certainly becomes a lot of that, and it just depends whether you're prepared for the moment or not. If you're not, you run the risk of the moment overwhelming you.
Probably when he stood on that tee with the length that he has, he had 4 in his mind. To walk away with 6 is devastating. It's quite a long walk to the next tee, so he'll have time to compose himself, but now projected just outside the top 25.
Well, we've not seen anybody finish strongly today with any birdies. 17 so difficult, and nobody's really birdieing 18 either.
Back to the tee at the 14th, and our leader, Emiliano Grillo.
Whipped tee, missed a very makeable birdie putt at the last hole, and this a big pull.
It's been a popular spot over the last couple of days.
He's played official events in 15 different countries this year. Lost in a playoff earlier in Puerto Rico, and he's trying to win this golf tournament.
Yeah, it's like about a quarter curve there. Take your time, Chaz.
Chaz Reavie next.
And it's really almost a little bit like a match play event between these two. They've been back and forth most of the day. And a little bit of breeze picking up right now. This is a tough hole location. You definitely don't want to be long. There's only four paces behind.
Iron game's been phenomenal this week, Kate. Second in the field in greens and regulation.
Going with a 4-iron, hit this really high. Trying to get it to land softly on the green, and it does.
Yeah, got it hole high up on that back shelf. Guy that top 10 the first week in Fort Wayne, won the next week, and he is right now leading the finals money list.
Both players securing their privileges for next year on the PGA Tour. Both players now trying to win a golf tournament as they come down the stretch here on Sunday. You can join the conversation on Twitter. Use the hashtag WebTour.
Big tee shot here for Kevin Tway.
Needs a birdie one of these last two. And that's a good shot there. Sure would like to have had that one on the last.
Yeah, no kidding.
That's long, too.
This hole 500 yards as a par 4. Nice to avoid the divot there.
Rian Gibson, tough spot at 18.
That will
squirt right.
Stood on the 18th tee here, one shot behind Grillo, who was in trouble at the par 3 14th. Now the Australian is in trouble here.
Back over at 15, Sam Saunders just off the green, this for birdie. Try to bounce back after giving one away at 14. But nonetheless, Craig, as you've talked about, really an impressive 4-week stretch. Took a week off, but to know you had to come back here after having a good chance to keep your card, but a great chance to get right back out.
Had a little safety net because of he played 100 and...
He was in that 126 to 150 on the FedEx Cup.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Andres Romero at 16 for birdie.
Interesting story with Andres. He broke his hand at Reno. This is the first event back. He finished outside the top 150. He's a past champion on the PGA Tour, but it was a critical time to have an outburst of anger.
And because it is his first start, he has made no money in the finals.
And playing poorly today, he had a chance. Starting the day tied for 7th, he probably needed a top 5, but right now 2 over par and projected well outside.
Back to the 14th, Chez Reavie.
Opportunity here for a potential 2-shot swing. Grillo's chip shot, pitch shot has released off the edge of the green, and he has his work cut out to make a par. No, we didn't see that left to right movement, but it's going to end up being an easy par for Reavie. And I think Chez is going to go ahead and finish out because Emiliano takes quite a bit of time over his shots.
Reavie, a 33-year-old born in Kansas. Spent 8 years on the PGA Tour.
Yeah, he's won on that tour. He's won out here, and now he's won a finals event. Looking to be the first player ever to win multiple Web.com Tour finals. Now it's only been in existence. This is the 3rd year, but that's still pretty impressive for a guy that did not play at all in 2014 after having wrist surgery.
This is a moment ago at 14. You heard Kay describe what Grillo was facing. We'll take a second look.
decent lie, guys, but it was off a little bit of a downhill lie.
Yeah, he really just had to pitch that barely on the green. He flew it all the way to the flag. So 2 bad shots in a row for the Argentine.
So now this is live. Grillo with this much left for his par.
And that ball is very close to the primary rough. I don't think it's close enough, Craig, where it's going to impede his putting stroke, or he would have brought out a wedge.
It looks to me like it's down green and then it's downhill to the flag. These things are not tremendously fast, but they've started to dry out, so you have to be a little bit more aware of it. Get a really good look. So it looks like the backswing won't be too bad. Maybe a little disconcerting. Yes, sir.
Oh, big stroke there.
Wow. Guys plays with a lot of confidence. Really fearless. In fact, certainly tee to green. He gets a little tentative on the greens, but that one was anything but tentative.
And that keeps him in the lead by himself. As we go back to 16, Luke Guthrie for birdie.
Probably needs to make 2 coming in. Oh. Currently tied for 10th. Probably needs a 5th place finish. Has not made a cut in these finals events. Very talented player. Actually lives in the area.
Look at the 17th green. Kevin Tway getting ready for a very important second shot.
Yeah. Yep.
Is it helping?
It is helping off the right. If you hit your natural one, that's going to be perfect. You can go ahead and hit all of it.
Well, he just smoked his tee shot. The ball's a little bit below his feet here. He's only got 166 yards in, but he's going to have to deal with that tree short. I think that if he goes in and hits this, it'll help. He's got a pitching wedge out at the moment.
You got to hit it at home. Closer to 57, that 57 number, 55.
That's the number to carry the bunker and get it to release down.
There's not a ton up there right now. I mean, tops of the trees aren't even moving. I like that.
Under pressure, it can be a lot
Still right
harder
at
to take something off of something than to hit something hard. So if he's having to take something off of this, I think coming over the tree with this tough hole location makes this a little harder shot. A 9-iron here now.
Here's the hole location right here. And if the ball just carries the bunker, it will land on a downslope and propel it forward. Well, he was in between clubs and obviously chose the wrong one, coming off that bogey at 16. And that looks to us like it's plugged. And that's going to be nearly impossible to get it inside 10 feet straight downhill to the flag. So a little indecision with the club. Swings a lot like his father, Bob Tway, who won 8 times on the PGA Tour and a victory in the PGA. Really got on top of it nicely. Good solid contact. I think more than anything was just indecision with the club. Good execution. Just didn't have a good number, and sometimes that happens.
Well, if he wasn't thrilled with the outcome, I wonder what the expression's going to be in about 60 seconds. Where he looks
you have
at
to,
it.
you know, in these turbulent times coming down the stretch, you got to be patient, and it's hard to be patient when you feel like you've hit a good shot and you get, you come up short, and then you walk up there and you see that the lie is horrendous.
Make our way back to the tee. Luke Guthrie getting set to go. And as you mentioned, a couple opportunities at 14 and 16 missed by Luke. So probably needs to go 3-3 to have a chance.
It's a tough task. Burko certainly on this hole. This 500-yard par 4. This is the 3rd most difficult hole on the golf course. Just given up 4 birdies. Good start. This tee points you to the right. You've really got to turn it from right to left to get it in the fairway.
Oh boy, you saw what Brian Gibson left himself. This is his fourth.
Well, he's not going to win the golf tournament. Great effort there, but the consolation is that he's going to the PGA Tour. Rookie on the tour this year, 29-year-old from Australia, was 9th last week, and he's going to fall out of that tie for second. But another Australian heading to the tour.
Now back at 17, Tway getting ready for his third.
And realistically, any chance he's got to get this up and down. There is a way to hit this shot, but it's a high-risk thing. It doesn't look like he's set up to do it. If you spin way down with your knees and get the heel under the ball, you can get it up soft, but it's a risky shot here. It's the only way to get this close.
He's aiming way left. He's like he's going to push it out to the right.
Yeah, you swing into it like that, it comes in shallow and going to release.
Yeah.
Just a really hard shot. You know, no way about it.
Tough break. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, right up here at the green, the wind is right to left where he thought it was down back where he was standing in the fairway.
But he will have a chance. We talked about that Friday, Craig.
The sharp angle of attack, and as Phil says, you're going to get the heel to lead, but he was coming from it from a completely different angle. Look at all the sand, and basically the toe hit that ball, shot it out to the right, and it's overspin. Just bad break, basically. Such a cool shot, that Exmo.
We knew there was disappointment after the shot, and I said the reaction when he realizes what he would face for his third. And that is pretty much sums up what this moment is about for Kevin Tway and others.
And don't forget, he was well inside the top 25 heading into Salt Lake City. Missed the cut there, shot 76 on Friday, and sort of tumbled out and finished the season 28th on the money list.
Kazire now for birdie at 17.
Coming down the hill. Swing a little right at first. This should straighten out. He was telling me on the way up here to the screen that the course is playing much better today. Finally starting to dry out just a bit compared to what it's been the rest of the week.
30 inches of rain has fallen on this golf course since August the 1st.
And what a year it has been for Patton Kazire out here, Craig.
Yeah, 2 wins. He's got 11 top 10s, 5 top 5s. He's basically leading in all the important categories. And I like his demeanor. You know, it reminds me a little bit of Harris English. Big, tall, athletic guy. And I like his chances heading to the PGA Tour.
So you've got one player that is known for a very long time where he will be in a few weeks. You've got another player in Kevin Tway with another chance to get back out on tour.
Well, and realistically, to have any chance, he has to make this putt. Otherwise, he'll have to eagle the last. Next year's hinges right now on this putt right here.
Back-to-back bogeys at 16 and now here at 17 for Kevin Tway.
Sometimes you just get overwhelmed, you know. And have you worked on techniques to deal with the pressure?
As he was walking off the green there, Craig, I mean to interrupt, but he was looking hard over at the leaderboard, and he's got to know now where he stands.
Yep. He needs a 10th place finish or better. And with those back-to-back bogeys, he was actually tied for 7th standing on the 16th tee. I believe he is now...
Looks like a tie for 13th.
Thank you.
Vannis Vegan at the 16th, playing his 4th.
And he's doing exactly what he had to do. 14th place or better. He's currently tied for 5th. 2 under on his round. And... good is that this is a guy that has actually made it through the finals in the last 2 years and is projected now to do it 3 straight years. When you get your back up against the wall, it's pretty impressive stuff from the South African.
Just his second birdie of the day. He birdied his opening hole. Now Kyle Stanley, chance for eagle.
Currently tied for 5th. He's birdied 12, 13, and 15. Ride a ridge at about this point here and then go downhill to the flag.
Now back at 15, Chez Reavie short of the green here, playing his third.
His wedge for his second shot came up this far short, a good 15 paces short of the green. I don't know what happened, Craig. It was in the fairway.
He underclubbed. Good shot there.
He'll save his par.
That's right.
And that's so essential to have that part of your game strong to make up for those mistakes.
That's exactly right. Flawless through the run through these finals events. You know, the win at 10th and now 20th last week.
Now over at 17, Luke Guthrie getting ready for his second. Not the best angle to try to get it to that hole location, and needs a couple of birdies here in the final 2 holes.
Likes to draw to start it in the middle of the green.
Get right. Get right. Right go.
Maybe he's taking the flag on right at the... Watch out for that bunker. That'll kick it to the right, but nicely done. That was aggressive play for Luke.
So he will have a chance, nearly hole high, about 25 feet remaining. Can Luke Guthrie finish birdie to give himself a chance to get back to the PGA Tour? It is a day filled with tons of drama. It's Championship Sunday on the Web.com Tour.
To the tee at the 18th, Kevin Tway, 1 under on his round today, currently tied for 10th, currently outside the finals 25.
Well, at the very least, he needs to make birdie here to have a chance. Water down the left-hand side. Not much wind right here right now.
Definitely needs a birdie. That actually hasn't updated his score with the bogey at 17, so probably 12th or 13th. He may actually even have to make that from the fairway. Now, just a long iron here. It's gut-wrenching after those 2 bogeys at 16 and 17. Regain that composure. He's got a good golf swing, good athletic golf swing. Generates a lot of power. Club face is in a beautiful position with the left wrist, and then really just starts that sequence from the ground up. Full extension. He wasn't steering that one. That was full bore. You learn a lot more from the adversity, and hopefully you can learn from the mistakes in the regular season and coming down the stretch here today.
Now back out to 15, Grillo for birdie.
From the fringe, right to left. He's trying to open up a 2-shot lead there, but it stays slim.
Yeah, he has to win in a Chez Reavie in a 4-way tie for second or worse. He will win the finals money list.
Now at 17, a must-make here for Luke Guthrie.
You just put so much pressure on yourself, Burker. You missed 3 cuts. You know you have to come here and finish top 5, and it's a valiant effort.
So back at the tee with Van Asvegen. And as you said, Craig, until that tee shot, he was doing exactly what he needed to do here in the final round.
Yep, tied for 6th. All he needs is a 14th or better. May have plugged up into that bank. Hopefully the marshal can find it.
It's Luke's Glover at the 16th. He's playing his 3rd.
He began the day just 3 shots out of the lead, but 2 over par today. And that's a nice birdie. He took care of business through these finals events. Did not play well in the regular season, where he finished 147th in the FedEx Cup.
Now Grillo back on the tee.
Oh boy, this going high and to the right. There's a cart path. There's rough. There's thick vegetation over there. I think it stayed in the rough.
See, there's some hazard. There's
red
hazard
stakes, too.
Yeah, he's a hard cutter of the golf ball, and if you get a little apprehensive tendency to start it right of your intended line, but don't forget on this hole left is water. So
you can see how guys, Craig, bail to the right.
Yes, that fairway at about 300 yards is only about 20, at 300 yards off the tee is only about 20 yards wide. But here's one of the most accurate drivers on the PGA Tour this year, Kate.
It's a nice thing to carry with you, knowing that you're going to hit a high percentage of fairways.
72% of the fairways he hit. And at that point right there, that thing's 20 yards wide. There's water left, and you just saw Grillo hit it well to the right, and to stand up there and pipe one down the center. Impressive.
And down the 18th for Kazire and Tway finishing up. It'll be Patton first.
171 yards after that nice tee shot. It's got to be a very satisfying final hole here. Final hole of the year, concluding the year for what's been a wonderful year for Patton. He's had a lot of wonderful iron shots, beautiful shots this year. See if he can do another one here in the last.
Yeah, he only needs about 3,500 to surpass Chesson Hadley, who won this golf tournament a couple of years ago in the Web.com Tour Finals. And from a historical standpoint, 26 years this tour has been in place, and when Patton finished, currently he's tied for 8th. He's going to be the second best in history as it relates to most money won. 29-year-old rookie out here this year. That Michael Sim is incredible in 14 starts.
Now Tway for his second at 18.
Likely needing an eagle here.
Yes, he does. Launched it way up in the air. On line. Good shot. Coming up probably 1 or 2 shots short.
Kevin Tway most likely needed to hole out from the fairway to get inside the finals 25. There you see the projection now.
But this putt has serious implications for others in addition to him.
Yeah, if he birdies, he's currently tied with Rob Oppenheim, so he would take money out of Rob's pocket. Rob right now at 26 on that list.
I think right now, he just, watching his reaction, he realized.
Yep.
I mean, he thought he still had an outside chance with that putt. But
it's hard to fathom what these guys are feeling. Put yourself in a position as he was standing on 16T with a chance, and maybe he thought right there, if I made that one, I could have done it. You know, everyone dreams of playing the PGA Tour. This guy had a standout career at OSU where he won 5 times, 4-time All-America. He's played the PGA Tour. His dad has played 680 events out there. He wants to get out there and create his own legacy. And it's not a bad thing. The consolation prize, you play the Web.com Tour, you get another year of seasoning, get another year to be better prepared to handle these situations. Great way to
fitting in for Kazire.
Yeah, great way to cap off a marvelous season. He will win the combined money list. That's through the regular season, these 4 finals. And that's fully exempt, and a ticket to the PGA, to the Players Championship.
We saw the projection on Tway, and now the realization starts to sink in.
Yeah, it's tough to swallow. You've worked your whole life, or even the sacrifice and the persevering through the tough times and all the hard work and the sweat and the frustration. It comes down to basically, for Kevin anyway, 3 holes, his back 9. And as Colt Nurse would know, this pressure is unreal. It is hard to watch.
Believe me, it's hard for us to watch.
Colt Knost is a player that has won out here several times. He's fully exempt on the PGA Tour. He's won the US Amateur. He knows what pressure's all about.
At the 16th, Grillo playing his second.
Yeah, he had actually a good lie. Ball was teed up. He just hit a short iron to ensure a solid layup.
Wow. That was a moment ago. Not the best layup in the world.
Well, with all the water left, it's actually not that bad, to be honest with you.
He had, the ball was really far below his feet.
Right. Yeah, you got a one-shot lead over the guy you're playing with.
Unfortunately, for Emiliano, his opponent, Chesreavy, has hit a tremendous shot and is on the green in 2. So things now looking a little more dicey for Emiliano.
This is a match play situation, so he probably looks at him as he's an opponent, but got a chance here, just land in the front part of the green here, Kay.
A little bit of mud on the top of the ball as well. This well to the right.
And safely done. If that thing really, if he took that flagstick on and it released, it could. The water's only 15 feet from the edge of the flagstick.
Grass is so saturated. There's so much water in that soil from all the rain. Back over to 18 now for Guthrie.
Well, if he makes this one, he may have a chance.
Go hard.
Really good effort. Currently tied for 11th. He needed a 7th, solo 7th or better.
It's the emotion of the day. Final round of the Web.com Tour Championship. Players fighting to get one of those 25 cards still up for grabs. Justin Thomas tweeting that he's nervous for the guys on the Web.com Tour right now. A lot of drama down the stretch. Again, you can join the conversation. Use the hashtag WebTour. Back to the 16th, Reevy for the outright lead.
A hybrid got him to the front part of the screen. He faces a 60-footer that is slower than it looks. Very hard to get yourself to hit it when you see the water beyond.
That's a good point, Kay.
We go back to the 18th, Luke Guthrie, who is 1 under on his round today.
Yeah, currently two-way tie for 11th, but this would get him inside the top 10.
We figured about a 7th place, maybe a 6th place finish.
So he would have. He's going to come up, if he makes this, he's probably going to come up 1 shot short. Valiant effort from Luke. It's either one great week in these finals, a solo 5th, or 4 top 20 gets your job done. And when you start in this very final event on the 4th in the finals, and you haven't made a cut yet, it's pretty pressure packed.
Now back to 16, Grillo for birdie.
Probably feels a little less pressure since Reevy did not make eagle, and it still has a good distance for his birdie putt.
Yeah, there's a ridge that works here, okay, so it will gain speed halfway through this putt. Out right there. I'm going to throw it to the right, I believe. That it looked like
thought it was going to come back to the left, but it didn't.
Yeah, it looked like a miss hit too. That ball never rolled very well off the putter face. This guy's 95th in the world rankings. If there's any weakness, which is not much, it's the putter. He's inconsistent with the putter.
Ricky Barnes saying he's glad he's at home on the inside of these Web.com Tour finals with family and getting a bit of extra rest before the season starts.
Yeah, he really played well, to be honest with you. And he's currently 14th on the finals. 25 money list made close to 60,000.
And Craig, the only pressure in this group is the pressure to get that extra perk and finish #1 and beat your opponent. They're not playing for their card. They're playing for the Players' Championship and #1.
Yeah, Yeah, good birdie. If they finish 1-2, let's say Emilio wins this golf tournament, Ches Reavie finishes solo second. Ches Reavie would have made the most money through these finals. So that is fully exempt. You're not in the reshuffle. You get in the Players' Championship. Ches has played 8 years on this tour. He's a winner on this tour. He won back at the RBC Canadian Open 2008. He knows how important fully exempt is. Now Reavie for his par, Kate.
Yeah, Ches just did what he needed to do. He got it to 13 under, and Craig, now this to stay at 13 under for Grillo.
Yeah, my apologies.
And it would be quite a par given his errant drive. These are the ones you have to make, and these are the ones that he's missed down the stretch on Sunday.
Remember, he bogeyed the par 5 in Puerto Rico. He 3-putted the par 5 in Charlotte to finish second in Charlotte, and then eventually lost in the playoff in Puerto Rico.
While we have a moment, let's join Phil Blackmar.
Whit, thank you very much. I'm here with Patton Kazire. And Patton, we've interviewed you so many times this year on the web.com. The next one after today will be on the PGA Tour. Does that have a good ring to you?
That has a very nice ring. It's been a fun year, and I'm excited to compete on the PGA Tour. This is pretty high level, but PGA Tour is what I've been working for a long time.
About a driver and an 8-iron from here, there's another golf course, and you're going to be playing in that event next spring, late spring. Have you been over to have a peek at it this week?
Well, I've seen it from far. Living in Sea Island's not far from here, so I've been able to come down and play with some buddies occasionally, and you know, I'm looking forward to it.
The birdie on the last hole fitting into your year. What are the sort of things that you learned this year, particularly when you finally broke through and won, that will carry you through into the PGA Tour next year?
I've learned a lot. It's hard to put my finger on one thing, but just the experience is invaluable. Learning to travel, learning to compete in front of a bunch of people, cameras. It's just been a big learning experience, and I've gained a lot of confidence from it, and I can't wait to carry it into next year.
Well, congratulations on a spectacular year this year.
Thank you.
Whit, back to you.
Yeah, Phil, you're not kidding. 22 starts on this tour this year, 11 top 10s, 2 wins for Kazire, and that earns you a ticket here, the stadium course. He will be playing in the Players here in Ponte Vedra Beach come springtime.
Now a co-leader, 2 holes to play. Ches Reavie on the tee at 17.
See if he can put that accurate driver into play again. That's a nice one.
Yeah,
down the left center.
Confident to stand up there and draw, knowing water's left.
Now up ahead at the green. A little bit of an awkward third here for Lucas Glover.
Yeah, probably going to fly this 15 feet and let it catch the downslope.
Join the Golf Channel AM Tour and play where the pros play. Tournament-style golf at its best for all ages and skill levels. Play top courses like Sea Island, TPC Sawgrass, and more. GCAmtour.com to learn more.
Now back to the tee at 17 with the other co-leader, Grillo.
Missed it way to the right on the last tee. Trying to erase those memories from his brain.
And he's a hard cutter, but now he's getting, as you start to rotate really hard, you just get a little out ahead of it. You can't quite square the face, but in actual fact, although that's right up against the primary cut, it's a good angle to that left hole location.
Now up ahead on the green here at 17, Lucas Glover trying to save his par.
And I said yesterday, I'm proud of the effort from Lucas. You know, he's played 12 years on the PGA Tour. He came to these web.com tour finals with one thought in mind, that was to get his card, and he looked crestfallen last week when he missed a short putt on the 72nd hole, and he thought that sort of put him outside, but it's been a consistent performance.
And it's been that club that is the Achilles heel in the top 5 this week in driving accuracy, greens, and regulation. the ball striking usually never an issue for Lucas.
You're right. 2 top 25s in the first two. 9th last week. Right now he's tied for 9th, and hopefully this is the impetus to move forward and get past all the struggles the last couple of years on tour.
Keep it right here at 17. Sam Saunders has this putt upcoming for birdie. A couple of Clemson Tigers playing together here in the penultimate pairing. Heck of a shot to hit it this close for birdie.
And this would get within 1. Maybe finish birdie, and you never know.
There's a heck of a 3 there by Sam Saunders at 17. Awfully impressive performance. He will be returning to the PGA Tour, and he's only 1 off the lead, Daniel Berger. Look at this, rooting for another fellow member of that high school class of 2011, Emiliano Grillo. Final pairing, tied at the top, playing the 17th. Grillo, his second from just off the fairway.
204 yards. Wind helping, has to bail out, I think, a little right here. Awfully tough hole location to go at.
It's about as good as you could do from the lie right up against the primary cut. You see it start to firm up. Good shot.
We do have a little bit of help.
Here is Vannes Vegan at the 18th, playing his second.
Been rock solid today. 3 birdies and just the 1 bogey. Began the day, needed a 14th place finish. Right now he's tied for 6th. If he can par this hole for 3 straight years, he's come to these finals events and been successful. He's had really good finishes in them all. 4th in Columbus 2 years ago, and then a 7th and 11th in 2 events last year.
Well, it is the final day of the Web.com Tour season, but the game marches on. The President's Cup coming up next week on Golf Channel and NBC. Champions Tour in Cary, North Carolina. LPGA begins its Asian swing in Malaysia, and the British Masters in the UK. All of those on Golf Channel next week.
Back out to 17. Reeve getting ready for his second.
Challenging angle from this left-hand side. Has to hit up over the oak tree. Taking on that hole location with a 6-iron.
Oh, aggressive.
Yeah, he hit that well, but it just lands on the downslope and turbo kicks.
So gets it into a good position there. Like I said, he was out for a whole year when he had wrist surgery, so there's some doubt there, but fully committed there. Good golf swing, accurate, very accurate off the tee. He was top 20 in greens and regulation.
To the tee at the 18th, and Sam Saunders 1 shot back.
That's good. Starting at the right-hand bunker and trying to turn.
Generally, when you let it go that quickly, you get a quick hook, but it's going to be just fine.
Now back to 17, a little bit of a chipping contest over the green here, Kay.
It is, and I'd say that Emiliano Grillo has the advantage because his ball stayed on the first cut. He was able to lift clean and place it, and he'll have a putt.
While they figure that one out, let's go back to 18.
And Lucas Glover.
This is a huge hole, Phil. If Lucas Glover bogeys this hole, he gives some more money to Rob Oppenheim, and that would be awfully close for Rob at that 25th spot. I'm not saying he would get in if he bogeys, but it would be by a very small margin either way.
Probably not in Luke's mind that.
No.
Thank you, Paul. Just a low bullet right here. Safely on the right side of the fairway. It's interesting, isn't it? The number of scenarios there are that affect so many different players.
Yeah, and Rob's been in the house for an hour, and he's waiting on Lucas Glover is in the second to last loop that could seal his fate.
Now back at 17, Grillo spending quite a bit of time as he prepares for his third.
He's able to putt this. He has a pretty smooth line to the hole. Overall, a little left to right break. Even though it's downhill, this is slow. He's got to make sure he hits this firmly. And Chez Reavie has a much more difficult shot in that he has a downhill lie with a dodgy lie in the rough.
The tendency he has is to hit him too hard, so this may be to his benefit, being this slow, as Kay mentioned. Good speed there, really good.
And that puts pressure immediately on Chez Reavie.
Well, when you're that close to the flagstick as Chez is coming out of the Bermuda rough, you've got to accelerate through it or just come out dead, and then potentially it could jump out of there and go a good 10, 12 feet past.
So Grillo in with par at 17. Gary Player chiming in via Twitter, showing a bit of support for a couple of South Africans. Thomas Aiken, Van Asvegen, now Reavie with his third.
Has a downhill lie. It looks like there's a little clump of grass behind his ball, so it's going to be a little questionable how it comes out. Setting his body with the slope and not trying to fight it.
Lie actually looked pretty good, really. Yeah, well done. He sort of he chased himself down the slope there, de-locked a little bit. I think that was smart.
But the stress level for these two, a lot different, a lot less. They're playing for the golden ticket, but they've known for weeks now that they're heading to the PGA Tour.
Well, that's exactly right. Chez Reavie won in Charlotte, and then obviously Emilio finishing second that week.
Now, Van Asvegen for birdie at 18.
We'll come down a little bit of a ridge there. This would be to shoot 67 on a stressful day. Certainly embraced the opportunity and did a marvelous job. Able to push back the fear and get it done again. I think he's got a game that's maturing, and it's going to be ready to blossom on the PGA Tour.
Back over at 17, still a little bit of work remaining for Chez Reavie.
Steve, understandably, he's taking plenty of time. His caddies looked at it from both angles, maybe whispering something to him, you know, something positive. I think it's an uphill putt, so it's going to lose its speed very quickly. He's got to hit this firmly inside the hole.
Save there by Chez Reavie. Two good up and downs by the final pairing, so they will head to the last tied at 13 under par. Who will win the 2015 Web.com Tour Championship? We will find out. This man, #1 on the regular season money list, Patton Kizzire, heading to the big tour.
At the 18th, Saunders, his second to this par 4.
Just 165 yards, shadows creeping across the green now. Hard to see the flagstick against the backdrop.
Birdie to get in that tie for the lead. Good shot, got up on the right level of the flag.
Well, in short order, 50 PGA Tour cards will be handed out, and you can have a front row seat. You can go to pgatour.com/webcom. Following our telecast, catch the card ceremony live, also on the Golf Live Extra app. Craig will be doing the honors at the clubhouse at TPC Sawgrass. All right, big shot here for Lucas Glover for a variety of reasons.
Well, that had to be a missed club. Something come up well short. That could put money in the pocket of Rob Oppenheim if Lucas bogeys. He's safely in. He may help someone else get in.
That a moment ago. Now the fairway clears for the final twosome.
Trying to just turn it from right to left. And nicely done. Down the right-hand side, took all the trouble out of play.
Up ahead, Glover ready for his third.
Well, it's certainly not an easy shot at all. The lie is not great. If he doesn't carry it on the grain is going against him very strongly, and it will not hop up. So he's got to carry this onto the green. Not taking a whole lot of time with it. It's not nearly as important of a shot to Lucas as others.
It's very true. So potentially, he two putts that. It may. I don't know. It's going to come down to tens of dollars.
It's going to be a handful of dollars.
That Rob Oppenheim could be the beneficiary.
One more look. Now Rob Oppenheim is $700 back. 27th projected. That is without Lucas Glover posting yet.
Yeah, so Lucas Glover is in a three-way tie for 10th. And then Rob Oppenheim is one shot back, so he would fall into that money, so the money would come back to Rob, but and others. Be interesting to see all the final calculations.
Be a six-way tie for 12th.
That's correct. That's. What do you think? What's it going to be enough?
No. It would be about a $500 addition to Rob Oppenheim's pocket if the math plays out.
Yeah.
Saunders, meanwhile, can tie for the lead at the 18th.
Most difficult thing about this putt is this in the shade, into the sun, back in the shade again.
Yeah, it looked as though he may have had it read. It's just these players have really struggled adjusting to the speed of the greens. Much slower than last week in Columbus for the main reason they've had 30 inches of rain here the last couple of months. Another great week for Sam Saunders. He was fourth in the very first Web.com event, final event in Fort Wayne. This had a chance to tie the lead. Can't believe I left it short. Gotta hit it.
All right. Saunders in at 12 under. He is third by himself. Glover. This is to save par at 18.
Yeah, Lucas came into this week with close to 39,000. It's going to take a little more than 32,000 to make it, but he doesn't make this, he'll fall out of that top 10. We'll see if Steve Burkowski's math is correct.
That's a lot of pressure.
That is a lot of pressure. Rob Oppenheim is hoping you are wrong, but we've got all the numbers, we've got the purse breakdown, we have pretty much everything at our hands, and
we don't have sands in the whiteboard. We have Burko and an abacus over there working furiously.
I have it, if it's right, as a $500 improvement to Oppenheim.
Well, it just updated on this on our ShotLink computer. Rob Oppenheim right now is in with $32,206.
You know what? I should have stuck with my gut because that's what I originally had.
Jumped over Eric Axley. There it is.
Oh man, $101.
Well, it was $31.66 last year that Eric actually made it. Now Eric's going to miss out by $101. Yeah, Rob Oppenheim needs a 13th place finish or better. Right now he is tied for 12th. Who knows?
Reeve with his approach to 18.
Both he and Grillo have the same number. That was a 9-iron. Always nice to go first and put the put the pressure on your opponent.
Excellent shot, Kay. Hole high, control the distance, and which is tough to do. You know, you got a little adrenaline. You're trying to win a golf tournament. This would be a second one in these final events.
Speaking of adrenaline, Grillo again, the same distance, 155. He's going with a wedge. Is he going to sacrifice some direction for distance?
Yeah.
Yes, he has.
Yeah, he tried. You could see him really sort of lunge at that, although it's left.
That's a typical move for a youngster, isn't it?
He'd give a great read for Chez Reavie, who's inside him.
Last two players on the course playing the 18th. Final group on the 18th. Final hole of this Web.com Tour Championship. Don't forget later, 50 PGA Tour cards handed out. Catch that on the Golf Live Extra app or at PGATour.com.
It's a big putt here, Kay, because he's going to show Chez Reavie the line, so it's pretty much a must make.
Definitely, and Chez is probably about 6-7 inches to the left of Emiliano's putt line and about half the distance closer. I don't see much in this.
Yeah, it's quite a slow one, though. You've got to give it a hit, as they have all week. Sometimes when you give it a hit, you knock it off line, especially when you're feeling some pressure. What a putt from the 23-year-old.
Wow.
Going to join that class of 2011 with Spieth and Berger and Thomas and Patrick Rogers on the PGA Tour. He's as good as all those guys, in my opinion. Maybe not Spieth yet, but it was clutch.
Wow. So, can Reavie answer? Oh, man.
Well, a great performance by Emiliano Grillo, but Chez Reavie, solo second, will win the golden ticket. Most money made in these final events, fully exempt into the Players' Championship, but the victory at the Web.com Tour Championship for the young man from Argentina.
Punctuates what has already been a very, very good year. You mentioned he played in 15 different countries. He top 10'd on 4 different tours this year. And he caps it all off with a win at the Web.com Tour Championship. Already had his PGA Tour card secured. But you might as well go ahead and go out in style.
He'd won on the PGA Tour Latino America Tour in 2014, but to win a PGA Tour umbrella event, that's going to be a great deal of confidence. He did everything but through these finals, even through this year, to be honest with you. And imagine the boost of confidence he's getting as he heads to the PGA Tour in the wraparound season that starts in 2 weeks.
Does it in style with a birdie on the 72nd hole. Facing down, Chez Reavie played next to him all day today. 1 under par round of 69 for Emiliano Grillo of Argentina. Captures the Web.com Tour Championship. Sam Saunders 2 shots back. Brian Gibson shot 65 on Sunday to take solo 4th. Patton Kizzire already had that card locked up. He will take the combined money title, regular season and finals. What a moment for that young man. Like he said, the only thing that he hadn't done this year was win. Wow. What a moment. The whole day, the whole week has just been emotional. It's been dramatic. And we're gonna go back and take a look at that final 25 money list in just a second. As a matter of fact, we'll look at it now. And what Lucas Glover did on 17 and 18 did, in fact, have an effect on the outcome at the bottom of this list. Chez Reavie wins the finals money list, Grillo second.
Amazing performance from Chez. Actually, Derek Fathau won the finals last year with just 250,000, so more than 80, 90,000 more than that. But it's when the bogey from Lucas Glover, although he was comfortably in, you can see close to $58,000, it allowed, as we flip to the next page, Rob Oppenheim to get his PGA Tour card, and he's been playing this tour for 6 straight years. It's been a struggle. He won this year in Wichita, a place where we began his career as a Monday qualifier in Wichita, and a man that you guys know, you and Steve know very well.
Makes his home in the Orlando area. He is going to the PGA Tour based on missed putts on 17 and 18 from Lucas Glover here on Sunday. It's unbelievable.
It is, and we're not really supposed to say unbelievable, but it is. It's hard to fathom. It's hard to put into words. And you go through an entire season, an entire career, hoping that you can control the situation.
Right.
It didn't happen that way for Rob. He played beautifully today, but he's got to be very thankful. I'm sure a Christmas gift will be going to Lucas Glover, because he's going to get a chance to play the PGA Tour for the very, very first time. And that's what these finals are all about. The emotion it's difficult for me to know that Rob has worked so hard and he's going to realize a dream. And it's unbelievable. It really is.
And what's interesting is Rob had left the property, and so they were scrambling around trying to find him during the broadcast. He's actually coming back. Now he's got something to do tonight. He's going to come back and get his card here at the ceremony, but he's on his way back to the golf course now. Obviously, someone reached him with that news. What a phone call that must have been.
Well, I actually am honored to do the card ceremony, and I'm going to get a chance to introduce Rob Oppenheim, and it's going to be exciting for me. I can't imagine, as Brett Stegmaier said, it's surreal. You dream of this. You work your tail off. He's got 2 kids at home, or I think they just had it. And I don't know. It's amazing that you can overcome the pressure and realize a dream.
You see the stage being set up behind us. That's where the card ceremony will take place. Again, Golf Live Extra, showing that live, as is PGAtour.com after we are off the air. 50 players receiving their PGA Tour cards later this afternoon.
And everything, I want to congratulate Pat and Keziah. You know, that from a money won in a season, the second best in the 26-year history of the Web.com Tour. You know, the 2 wins, 5 top 10s, 12 now. 5 top 5s, 12 top 10s. I think he's ready. I really do. He's actually not going to play in Fry's because he's getting married, and that date was set a long time ago. But I think he has the demeanor and the game, and he gained a lot of confidence this year to be successful on the PGA Tour.
While we have a moment, let's join Kay Cockerell.
That's right. I'm with Emiliano Grillo, who has won for the first time this year. You came close a few times. You got it done. What is this moment like for you to finally be able to hoist the trophy?
Yeah, it's great. It's my second career victory as a professional. The most important one so far. It's it's been great. It's been a great week. It's been a great last month. I got married a month ago almost, and from there I just started playing good, and I'm there. I'm on the PGA Tour, and it feels great.
What was the dynamic like between you and Chez Reavie today? It came down almost to match play, particularly down the back 9.
Yeah, he's a great guy to play with. He played good. He deserves that first spot. He played unbelievable on the last month. He deserved a lot, and it was great. It was great to come to the final hole, and I had a chance on winning the tournament. I took it.
What are you most looking forward to going to the PGA Tour as a full-fledged member?
I don't know. It's going to be everything. Everything's going to be new. Being on the PGA Tour, it's good enough. It's a great feeling. I'm just going to go out and enjoy it. I'm going to go out and enjoy the first 5 tournaments and see how it works, and what I have to do to be out there and maybe win out there.
Congratulations. We look forward to seeing what you can do. Well done.
Thank you.
One more time, let's take a look at the putt that won it here in Ponte Vedra. This was Grillo at the 18th.
Yeah, it was pretty flat, straight up the hill. He hit it firm enough, caught it right in the center. First win in America for the 23-year-old from Argentina.
Our colleague Aaron Oberholzer has just tweeted, there's your Rookie of the Year next year on the PGA Tour.
Yeah.
Not a bad pick.
Certainly it would be a good one to...
And Justin Thomas rooting for Emiliano as well. Welcome to the PGA Tour.
And they played in all these guys, Justin Thomas and Daniel Berger and Jordan Spieth, played in the Junior Players in 2010, and he will join